Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Katie's Garage. Today I'm going to be showing you how to take apart your old nasty shift boot covers, or even if it's not nasty, and make a new one. If you're a Celica fan, this one is a little bit for you. So stay tuned and let's start deconstructing this guy. Time-lapse. So the first thing that we need to do is remove the boot from this outer surround to save time. I'm probably just gonna hit it with some scissors, but I will try my seam ripper first. This is the Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is remove the seams out of each section. That way we can lay our vinyl down for the new pattern. The important thing when you're laying down your pattern and your vinyl is that your pattern or your pieces are going the same direction. So you don't want to do one like this and then do one like this, because vinyl stretches better in one direction typically, and also so that your pattern doesn't look wonky as far as the actual pattern of the vinyl. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lay these down right here. And what I'm gonna do to make it as easy as possible on myself is, don't forget to put your seam allowances back in. So however much of a seam allowance you want, I'm just gonna stick with what they have. Let's sew this baby up. So this is a clutch machine, so it's a little loud. And I apologize if that comes through on the video, but it also goes really fast. I'm gonna try real hard not to mess this up. Make sure that your thread tension is good. This looks good. Great. Okay, the next step is that you need to do the other side. So I am going to go ahead and do the exact same thing that we just did. Make sure you're vinyl to vinyl like that and sew her up. What do we got now? We've got something that's starting to kind of look like a shift boot, right? So, that's gonna be a tight one. I'm gonna make this seam really, really small because this retainer has to fit inside of here. How is that gonna work? Oh yeah, because it goes down here. We'll get it, we'll get it. Final stretchy. All right, so before you finish sewing your 3-piece shift boot together, you need to put in your French seams. So I want to make sure, number one, that I have enough bobbin. So I'm just gonna lift this up, take a peek. Plenty of bobbin thread, so I don't have to worry about that. Because you don't want to run out of bobbin thread when you are trying to do a French seam. Pretty freaking good for my first French seam in 8 years. So I'll bring this closer so you guys can check it out. Ooh. There we go. Pretty even French seam. All right, so the next part is we just need to close up the circle. And you're gonna do this by, again, going vinyl to vinyl and sewing it right up the seam. So this is probably the easiest part. So for this next part, it's kind of tricky because I don't have the exact foot for my machine that I would like to have for this. So there is a type of foot, and I'll have to figure out what it's called and put a little subtitle that has, so this foot has 2 sides to it like this, and then the needle goes through the middle and it does this little walking thing. The one I need is just the needle plate, or the needle part of the foot, and the edge, so that it has this open side so that this metal can run alongside of it. I'm gonna have to be really careful to keep the material pulled over and to not hit this metal on my needle, because that's a really easy way to break it. So I'm gonna go nice and slow, hopefully, and see if we can get this sewn in one piece. Okay, I'm coming up on a corner, so I'm going to do a little tuck.
The summer's calling. The summer's calling. If the kingdom is overthrown, meet me at the cornerstone. I know that I can't be without you. This bond is solid gold. We're a diamond and an emerald. It took me forever to find you.
Alright, so let's take a look at this. Bring it back over to the nice white table. It's kind of dirty from all that stuff. So this is what we have. It really turned out pretty nice. So right here is where it kind of got stuck. Bring it in close to the camera here. So it kind of got stuck, so you can see there's a lot of little teeny threads right there. You can kind of see it on this side right here. So if this was a customer job, I would definitely redo this, because this is the front side of the shifter boot especially, and this isn't quite acceptable for me, for what I would give to a customer. The other thing is I needed just a little more seam allowance all the way around on this guy. So this is gonna be okay. I can probably stick a tiny bit of glue on here and that'll keep it held in. It also, I'll show you what it slides into. And then as you can see, I don't need to point out every imperfection, but all in all, a really nice shift boot compared to what I had. So this is what I had right here. And this is what I have now. So the ring was a little bit tight, which I could stretch it, but honestly it's so rigid that I don't know if it's even gonna need it. So I think I'm gonna try it without and just see how it looks first. And if not, then I'll get the ring installed and just use some heat to stretch this vinyl. So that would be my tip for you guys, is if it's a little bit too tight, use some heat to get a little more stretch in it. If you still can't get it, then sometimes you have to redo your pattern and just make it a little bit bigger. So this is the trim piece that it goes into, and I'm going to show you why the edges aren't really a huge deal. So I'm going to tuck this in here. And it just pushes right into these little clips. This is a little bit heavier of a material than what was in stock, it appears, but it should be okay. Make sure your plastics are warm so that you don't snap them. Okay, and get this side pushed into. There we go. Snapped in all the way around, and there you go. So this actually turned out really, really nice looking. You can't even see those seams. It's got plenty of good clearance. So I am really happy with how this turned out, actually. So super stoked. Literally first upholstery project since I got my new machine. And I think this turned out really nice. And there you have it. One spiffy little shift boot for one sad little car. I hope you guys love these videos. Make sure to leave a comment if you have questions, and make sure to subscribe if you found this video helpful. I'll see you guys soon on Katie's Garage. Oh.
Is there